Dogtag here, April 13th. We're back on the trail up here at Beauty Spot Gap. I know you're gonna say, what are you doing? Well, we're slack packing again, but we're slack packing back to Uncle Johnny's, and then we'll come back up here and finish out. So, I'm sorry, I gotta move because G-Man, the shuttle driver, is backing up and I want to get out of his way. But you can see the devastation up here, and Dr. Quinn and Optimus are on their way, and you know, Dogtag needs to get moving because it's cold. All right, see you later, alligator. Dogtag walking into some trail magic, and the rest of the crew's here. So
if I make it a 3-mile-an-hour pace.
You don't have time, you don't have time, you don't have time.
I know.
It's 3.6 miles.
So Dogtag on the AT, and caught up with Optimus and Dr. Quinn, and then of course this knucklehead here comes running by me. He says he wants to get back to Irwin just to ride the boat shuttle across, and they both have covered 4 miles in a short amount of time. So it's pretty incredible. So but the rest is somebody here playing a banjo, and I'm not real hungry, but I might try to grab something to drink. So all right, Dogtag moving on after I get some trail magic, but we'll see y'all later. So Dogtag here at the Trail Magic. I got a breakfast taco.
Have you ever heard the song?
And this is Scrunch behind me. She's the keeper of this wonderful Trail Magic. And, you know, we've missed the infamous Trail Magic guy, but I think we've had actually better Trail Magic the last couple days.
Oh, you haven't run into
from
Fresh Ground yet?
Oh yeah, he doesn't exist in our eyes.
That's fair. I think he's a good
So,
guy.
well, he does, but he probably does, but we haven't seen him. So, but you know, it was very nice. I'm gonna sit here and eat and drink, and then get back on the trail, and we'll talk to y'all later. Dogtag on the AT. This stone foundation here, according to my map app, is an old house foundation, and it's probably 6 feet by 12 feet. So wasn't much of a house, but up here on the hill, what do you need? So Dogtag back on the trail. Well, you know, for a day that started out so cold, turned into a pretty beautiful day. And you know how much I love the sound of running water. Looks like we followed the stream almost all the way back into Irwin. So we get to listen to this for the next couple hours. So nice rocky trail, so I'm going slow, but Dogtag's gonna continue to move closer to Katahdin. See y'all later, alligators. You guys waiting on me?
Hey, Dogtag. We've not been here that long.
So Dogtag here, we're at Pal's. We did the walk-up AT walk-up food service, and now we're headed over to Bojangles. So
Mr. Bo.
Mr. Bojangles, there we go. We get Doc to sing for us. All right, check it out. Well, good morning from the AT, April 14th. Dogtag here, and I'm at Beauty Spot Gap, headed north, and we're gonna do about 11 miles today, and Dogtag needs to get moving. Well, Dogtag's almost to the top of his first hill today, but I hear the wind just howling up there on the top. So I thought I'd stop before I get up there so that you could at least hear me talk. Someone left a nice little message here on the trail. So I don't know if it was for anybody specific, but you know, for all of those, all of you that are following me and supporting me and giving me prayers, there's my love back to you. So thank you. And you know, Dogtag's continuing to move north, and you know, it's supposed to be a warm day today, and so I'm kind of glad I'm getting one of my big climbs out of the way early when it's still cool and breezy. But it's all good. Yesterday was pretty incredible. Big Sexy and Stick, they did 3.5 miles. They did 12.5 miles in 3.5 hours. You know, just incredible. I mean, of course, 90% of it was downhill, but they were hell bent on getting to the ferry back across to Uncle Johnny's, and kudos to them for killing it yesterday. Maybe it'll slow them down today because they'll feel the pain today, but if not, I'm sure they'll pass me at some point this morning. And you know, we're on our way to Damascus. I'll be back in Virginia, and of course, Virginia is the longest section of the trail, and you know, I'll be there for a long time. But you know, it'll be nice to finally be off of this North Carolina, Tennessee line that we've been walking, and you know, just good, but doing well mentally, real strong. It's nice to have a group. There's a few other hikers that aren't necessarily part of our tramily, but they're hiking around us, and we kind of hook up with them on a regular basis, and it's a great social experience. And I just wasn't getting it when I was up in Shenandoah heading south. So I know some people come out here for the solitude and, you know, to be able to be by themselves. During the day when I'm walking, I don't mind it. But at the end of the day, it's nice to be able to check in with other people and laugh about stuff that's happened during the day. And, you know, so sending a kudos out to Unicoi Shuttle. If you're in the Irwin area and you need a shuttle, those guys are awesome. They'll take you anywhere, and very affordable. If you can find a few other hikers to shuttle with, they charge a flat rate regardless of how many people that are in their car or truck. And just people like that is what makes the trail such a great experience. So, all right, I've taken my breather. I need to push up over the top of this last little bit of hill, and then I'm sure I'll go down for a little bit, only to go back up. You know, you can always be guaranteed in the morning, if you start in a gap, you're going to go up. So today is a full pack day. We aren't slack packing. We're not going to slack pack probably for at least the next 3 or 4 days. We'll see after that. Supposedly there's a shuttle driver that runs out of the next section that helps shuttle people up and down the trail between there and Damascus. And once I'm sure that the family finds out that there's a slack packing shuttle, we probably will go back to slack packing, just because we can move easier miles, longer miles easier. At some point we're not going to be able to slack pack. So, you know, I know you purists probably say, oh, well, you know, I thought you were backpacking the whole trip. Well, trust me, whether you're walking it with a full pack or whether you're walking it with a slack pack, you're still walking the miles. And it's a great experience, beautiful views. You know, in this little area I'm in today, right now, you can see some of Helene's work. And the other thing is Steve from Unicoi Shuttles, he went and got trained to be a sawyer so that he could come out here when he wasn't shuttling people, so that he could clear the trail. Holy moly, dude. Kudos to that man. So if you run into him when you're out on the trail, thank him for what he does, because he does not have to go that extra mile of clearing the trail while shuttling us up and down the trail. So thanks, Steve, for all that you do. G-Man, who works for Steve part-time, you know, kudos to him as well. So like I said, shuttle drivers are an integral part of this trail experience, and it's nice when you run into some really good ones. So I need to get moving, so before they catch me. So I'd rather them catch me on the down rather than the up. So Dogtag getting on the trail and heading up that way right there. So we'll talk later. See y'all later, alligators. So Dogtag went in here walking. This is a kind of a whole different experience of what we've been walking on for the last 350 plus miles. It's like conifer forest, and the ground is soft, a lot of roots, but like I said, a whole different experience of walking in this area versus what we've been doing. Sorry, I do a terrible job of keeping the camera far enough away so you can see my face, but just really interesting. That's why I filmed it, and I'll put it behind this section of film so that you can see it. So Dogtag continuing to move north. See y'all later, alligators. Well, Helene has made her presence here in Tennessee once again, and the Tennessee Eastman trail maintainers have done a pretty doggone good job of making the trail passable. So thank you all. Dogtag appreciates it. Well, Dogtag here on the AT, and we're at the last Helene reroute. So once we get through this section, then we won't have to hopefully deal with too much more of Helene's pain and punishment. So Dogtag moving through it. Dogtag out. Well, Dogtag on the move again. Don't look. We're going through. I won't tell if you won't. Dogtag here, and I know it doesn't look like it in this picture, but the guy who sawed that had to be 10 feet tall. So, because it's at least 10 feet off the ground. So maybe I'll go stand next to it and try to film the actual stump. Hold on. Okay, now I'm standing next to it, and you can kind of get a general idea how much higher that is than I am. I'm 6'3", and that's got to be at least 2 feet higher than me. So either it was laying down, and when he cut it, whoosh, shot up in the air, or there was a tall son of a gun who was cutting that piece of wood. But kudos to those East Tennesseans. They've done a great job of keeping the trail semi-clear. There's some work that you have to do to get around some of these root balls, but kudos to them. So thank you for what all you guys have done, and gals. I'm sorry, I don't even mean to use that term as a sexist term, because I'm sure there were lots of female out here too working. So thank you for all of you for what you've done. Dogtag here. I know you can't see it, but it's there. That's Cherry Gap Shelter. And during Helene, there were actually people inside there. So you can't even see the building unless you know what you're looking for. But you can see the roof a little bit. But that is just incredible that those people were here. I just can't imagine what it would have been like hearing everything coming down around you. And I know the night we spent on Standing Indian, and we had 60, 70 mile an hour winds, but I'd be willing to bet they had 100 plus up here that took these trees down. And so I just can't imagine what it would have been like to be here. So whoever you are, pretty lucky individuals. I hope you played the lottery the next day when you got out of here. Dogtag out. So the end of day April 14, and at this beautiful campsite here. I don't know what the campsite's called, but it's got water and it's got flat ground. And look, somebody was even nice enough to cut some benches and using all this wood that's been blown down, putting it to a good use. So everybody's doing their water, getting ready for chow, and then we'll move forward from there. So, but beautiful day, and can't complain other than slogging my pack first time in several days. I'm feeling it. So for now, Dogtag's out. See y'all later, alligators.